welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. If you are not yet a subscriber, kindly hit the subscribe button. My name is Fisayo and in this video I'm going to be talking about how I subtly and politely ask my clients for my payment. And you know that as creatives, a lot of times we do our work and then we send our deliverables to the client. And so many times we have to, wait for weeks and sometimes even months to get them to pay us. But because of maybe it's because of the nature of our job, or maybe it's because of the kind of person that I am, I find it difficult to outrightly ask, start hassling the clients for payment. I think a lot of people do that too, because a lot of creatives that I speak to also talk about how they find it difficult to start messaging the clients asking for money. And because you don't want to burn bridges, because you don't want to close the door to more job opportunities, and also you don't want to appear as you don't want to give yourself a negative name, especially in this industry. Sometimes we don't ask, we are patient, we keep remaining patient until where we eventually have to ask. And in some cases, the clients might have issues with responding. There are so many cases about money issue between a creative and a client, and I don't want us to really go in depth into that. But I want us to talk about how we can politely ask for our payment. So the first thing I do is, when it is time to receive the payment and the client is not saying anything, I'm not receiving any alerts, the first thing that I do is one of the things that I do is to send my invoice to that client. So let's agree that they've forgotten that they are owing us, right? The least we can do is help them out, help them to remember by sending them our invoices. So I have an invoice that I designed on Canva. If you go to Canva, there are so many templates for invoices. You just pick the one that feels cool to you. So I design it on Canva, and then I just change the template. So I did it. I put the name of the project, my company name, my account number, and the amount, and then I send it to them. So I make sure that I send it to them on email and on WhatsApp. So whatever mode of communication that you and the client have been using to speak or to chat, use that same means to use that same platform to send your invoice to that same platform, and let's see. I'm pretty sure that will jog their memory. So I do that, and it has worked. It's still working. I just hope nobody owes me money again in the nearest future. I pray that they remember to pay at the right time. So that's one of the things I do. I send my invoice to them. And don't forget, I said I send it both on email and on WhatsApp, because they can say they didn't see the email. At least they will see the WhatsApp. And if they don't see WhatsApp, at least they will see the email. So that's one of the things that I do. If you've not done this before and you have a lot of people owing you, you can try out this tactic. Another thing that I do is to send them a message. So that's whatever that means of communication is between us. I send them a message on that platform, either WhatsApp or through email. And what I do is I just, I don't ask for the money. So I say something like, please let me know when you do the transfer so that I can acknowledge receipts, because sometimes my bank acts up. Something like that. I've used that same line for a client and they were like, oh, okay, no problem. And then they sent it immediately and I acknowledged receipt. So you can send a message to them. Just send something. Just remind them, make reference to their debts. Or you can send a message asking if they have another project in mind. So you can say something like, oh, do you have another project you want me to work on? Let me know what it is so I can get started on it, and so that I can send one invoice that contains the one you were owing before. That's another very, very subtle way to ask for your money. So, ask them for another project. If they have another project, they will give you that project, and hopefully they will pay at once. Hopefully, in fact, some might not have another project, but because you've made mention of the money they are owing, they'll be compelled to send it to you. And another message you can send to them is, so this one depends on the relationship you have with the client. If it's somebody you've been working with for a while, or somebody that you have a very close relationship with, you can just start up a chat and keep talking, and then you let them know, hint them of a financial situation, let them know if there's something you're working towards and oh, you really need money to do that. Oh, please, the last project, when are you sending the money? When are you doing the transfer? It's a really, really subtle way to ask. So just put it in the conversation, put it in that message. Just hint them of your financial situation. Let them know that there's a project you want to do, there's something you want to do that you would ask, you will need the money. Then the third thing you can do is to just ask them. Just ask them. So long as you've done the project, you've delivered to them, you've done, you carried out the project in a really good way, you've delivered, and they are owing you a balance. Just ask them, just send them a message, hey, good day sir, good day ma, I'm still waiting for balance for my payment. So last year, January, I was in the hospital and I needed to pay for drugs, and there was this client that was owing me balance since like November, and I was like, no, I'm not going to ask, he's going to send it, I'm not going to ask. But I was in the hospital and I could not do any transfer with my bank. I don't want to mention the name of the bank. I had a bank I was using that, I couldn't do any transfer and my card was not working. The bank had issues, so I needed money. I just sent my clients the message that, oh sir, I'm in the hospital and I need to pay for some drugs. I was hoping if you could just transfer the balance to me. And the man said that he's actually expecting some money and the person has not paid, so the person is likely to pay in February. That was what the person said, and I didn't get the money at that time, so I didn't ask. I just sorted out the issue. But in February, as he rightfully said, the money came in. Like, I didn't even need to ask again, it just came in. So maybe you just want to directly ask them, but don't forget that you want to ask in a polite way because you don't want to burn bridges. So they are owing you your balance now. They might bring up a very huge project next time. So that's why I said that you need to ask politely. So I'm saying all of this just to teach us how not to get sidelined by clients, because believe me, there are people that will just want to use you. They are not ready to pay. And there are some people that genuinely forget. They just genuinely forget. Last month, a client of mine actually forgot, and he just sent me a message like, oh my God, I forgot to pay. Please send me your invoice. That was what the person said immediately. And so some people, immediately I sent the invoice. So some people genuinely forget. Just remind them in a polite way. So that's how I ask my clients for my payment, making sure that I do it in such a way that nobody is embarrassed, nobody is taken to the police station, and nobody's angry, and it works. They pay. So what about you? What other ways do you ask your clients for money? Let me know in the comment section. If you've loved this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Also follow me on Instagram at Fisayo Patrick 1. I will see you in the next video.